my dear students. So today I am going to discuss the remaining portions from the lesson Mix and Separate. So today the topic we are going to discuss is about the separation of the components of a mixture. So there are many methods, children. Mainly there are two methods. First is how to separate the soluble components from a mixture and how to separate an insoluble components from the mixture. So first let's look about how to separate the insoluble components from the mixture. So there are three methods under this. First one is sedimentation, then decantation and filtration. So we are going to learn about the separation of insoluble substances from the mixture. So we told that the sand, when we take a glass of water and we put a sand into it and stir it well, the sand will completely dissolve in water since it is a homogeneous mixture. But if you take sand particles, what will happen, children? If you put it in the water, you can see that the sand particles are settling at the bottom, and above there will be water, and the sand particles are settling at the bottom, and it will not be completely dissolved in the water since it is heterogeneous mixtures. I told you that in the last class, in heterogeneous mixtures you can see the components. Okay, you can see the components because it doesn't get dissolved in the solution. So we can see the components. So such settling down of the particles at the bottom. Here the sand is settled at the bottom of the water. So such a process is called sedimentation. Now we want to separate this water from the sand. So that process is called decantation. That is separating the clear water above after sedimentation of the components of mixture. So we are separating the water from the sand particles. Yes, by this process. What process? By decantation. As you can see from the picture how it is separated. Okay, children, so this is about sedimentation and decantation. Sedimentation means the settling down of the particles at the bottom of the water. That is called sedimentation, and separating the clear water from the sand sediments is called decantation. So these are the two processes. Next one, we are going to learn about filtration. Children, filtration means you can do this filtration using a sieve. See, this is the picture of the sieve. I think you might have seen the sieve. Okay, or you can use a filter paper or a cloth. So to filter the sand particles, small sand particles and all, you can use the cloth and the filter paper. If you wanted to separate the sand particles from the water, you can use cloth, small sand particles. If it is big, you cannot use the cloth and filter paper. You have to use some other method. But if it is a small salt particles, or if it is a small sand particles, not salt, sand particles, if it is a sand particles, you can filter it using a cloth and a filter paper. Okay, and even the chalk powder and water, you can separate the chalk powder and water using the sieve. Under the process of filtration. So filtration is the separation of constituent particles of a mixture using a sieve. In the construction work also, the sand will be of different size and there will be different types of works, and each work requires different size of sand. The size will not be the same at all. So for that purposes we use different sieves. We filter the sands. We using the sieves for the construction purposes. And to separate the particles from the rice powder like puttu, pathiri and all, to separate the particles from the rice powder, we also use the sieve. You might have seen your mother doing it, that is sieving the rice powder so that the dust particles will be filtered out. So with this all methods we use this process filtration. So this is about the separation of insoluble components. How to separate the insoluble components. First is sedimentation, then decantation and filtration. Hope it is clear to you. So let's move to the next one. Yes. Now next one is separation of soluble components. How to separate the soluble components? We know that the salt, right? The salt, when you put it in the water, it will get completely dissolved since it is a homogeneous mixture. You cannot see the sand particles at all. Right, children? Yes. See, in your textbook, you can see a boy holding a spoon. So he took some water and some salt, mixed it, okay, and in a spoon, and he is putting the spoon near the flame. And he can see that what happens when the water gets heated, it changes into vapor due to a process called evaporation. So it changes into vapor and only the salt content remains over there. So that is the experiment he shows in this picture. Because he took a spoon, and in the spoon he added some water and some salt solution and he heated it. Due to the heat, the water gets evaporated as vapor and only the salt content remained over there. Similarly, this happens in sea water also. You know that the sea water is saline in nature. It is salty. So how do we get the salt from the sea water? You know, children, the sea water, due to the heat of the sun, the sea water gets evaporated, okay, and the salt content will remain, and this salt content is collected in large pits or holes. It is collected in large pits and holes, and further the salt is purified using another methods. So what I came to tell you that is that the separation of soluble components, the method is evaporation. By evaporation you can separate the soluble components from a mixture. Similarly, this evaporation method is used to that is separate the sugar from the sugar solution, jaggery from the jaggery solution, salt from the salt solution. So from this, using this evaporation method, you can separate such solutions. So these are the two separation of the mixture, separation of insoluble components of the mixture and separation of soluble components of a mixture. Separation of insoluble, it is sedimentation, decantation and filtration, and separation of soluble components is evaporation. Now children, there are many other methods also for separation of the substances. For example, you can remove the tea dust from the tea using a tea strainer. You might have seen your mother after making the tea, they are separating, they are filtering the tea by separating the tea dust using a tea strainer. I hope everyone have noticed that, right? Yes. And also we can also see that our parents, our mother are removing the stone from the rice. When they get the rice, they remove the stone. How do they remove it, children? They remove it using hand picking. By picking it with hand, the stones are picked up with the hand. So that is also another method of separation. Next one, this rice will contain an outer coat which is called the husk. So this husk it will not digest. When we eat it, it will not digest. So this husk has to be removed. So how will you remove this husk? By a process called winnowing. So you can see from the picture that the woman is standing at a height and she is throwing the rice from a height, so that the husk, which is lightweight, when you do this, the husk will blow in the wind and only the rice particles it will be settled down. So this process is called winnowing. Okay, so hand picking, winnowing. These are the two processes to remove the stones and the husk from the rice. And as I told you earlier, for the construction purposes, the sand is filtered off using a sleeve. Now children, this sand is acting as a good sleeve. You all might have seen well, and you can see that the water in the well is pure, clear water. How it is? That is, when the water flows through the sand will filter off the dirty particles and clear water we get from the well. But one thing you have to keep in mind is that the well and the septic tank, it should not be near, because sand cannot filter off the bacteria. It cannot remove out the bacteria like different types of bacteria like E. coli. So the dirty water which is coming from the toilet, it consists of many of germs, many of bacteria like E. coli. So it cannot remove such bacteria. So the septic tank and the well, it should be 15 kilometers away. Then only we will get the clear water, because sand can filter off only the dirty particles from the water. It cannot remove the bacteria. So we can say that sand is acting as a sieve. So this is about today's topic. So hope you have understood the topic. Today we learned about how to separate the insoluble components from a mixture and soluble components from the mixture, and different types of separation. For example, iron. Can you say, children, how can the iron be separated? If you are keeping the iron powder along with some mixture, you can separate the iron powder by using a magnet. If you move a magnet in that mixture, the iron particles will get attracted. Similarly, the aluminium powder also. Aluminium powder, you can add some water to it and you can filter it off. So the aluminium powder will remain in the filter funnel. From that you can separate the aluminium powder. And salt, as I have told earlier, due to evaporation, we can separate the salt solution. So, hope you understood this. So, see you during the class discussion time. Bye, children.